In my last couple of videos, I've touched on the mental health issues. I've talked a little bit about it, and I'm going to talk a bit about it in this video too. It's mainly about sort of misconceptions, things to do to get me out and to get people out, and also the future and what else, is going on, what else is going to happen in the future.
About me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
In my last video, I talked about this notepad and writing down things I've done or how I feel when I've done something. So if I've been out, come back, write down in here how I feel about it. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is mainly also to get you out in the first place. So once you get out, how do you feel once you've been out? Because getting out's very, very difficult. Now, a lot of people don't understand that, and that's one of the misconceptions, definitely misconceptions about mental health. People with depression and anxiety and other mental illnesses find it very difficult to get out sometimes. And sometimes you find it very difficult to get out of bed even. And there are a lot of misconceptions about that, because a lot of other people will say, people who don't understand mental health issues, will say to you, well, I can get out of bed and go to work, I can get out and feed the kids, I can get out and do this, that and the other. Why can't you do it? The reason that people stay in bed all day isn't because they want to be lazy and they don't want to get out and face the world. There are usually other reasons for it. The main reason, I believe for a lot of people, and especially for myself, is you lay in bed not wanting to get out of bed because you'd rather be dead. And it's a simple answer. You'd rather lie there hoping that you'll die at some point because you really can't face the rest of the day, you can't face the world, you can't face anything. So laying in bed isn't a case of laying in bed because you're lazy, it's laying in bed because actually you hope that everything will go away and you end up dead. It's the easy way out. Now, we hear a lot about suicide at the moment. There's a lot of it in the news. Got to a ridiculous point where it's far higher than it's ever been, and there's very little help or support for the people that have come to that point in their life. One of the things about lying there in bed thinking, oh, I wish I was dead, is that you just do that. You lie there, eventually you get up and you go and do your job. So you don't actually do anything. We maybe all try holding our breath or hoping that our heart's going to stop and stuff like that, but it doesn't work. Nothing happens. But it's a good thing is that you don't actually do anything serious. So you don't get out and hurt yourself. If you have anxiety, then you think that you lie there and you'll think to yourself, well, maybe I'll die, maybe I won't. You think to yourself, well, maybe I'll do something about it. But that's where your anxiety actually saves you in many cases, because your anxiety is, well, if I take some sleeping pills or I go and get a knife or I do something, it's going to go wrong. And if it's going to go wrong, it's going to hurt and I'm going to be disfigured or I'm going to be ill. So you end up frightening yourself through your anxiety not to do anything. Anxiety is a horrible thing and I hate having anxiety. But in some ways, the whole point of anxiety is it's a fear that helps you. In some ways, it stops you doing certain stupid things. So in fact, some things about anxiety can save your life rather than cause you issues. So one of the things that counsellors do, my counsellor especially, is to try and get you out. When I first started doing the CBT, the first thing they said to me was, oh, you need to go out for a walk, maybe 30, 40-minute walk every day. I always thought that was a little bit pointless because I work and I walk a lot at work. I did go out, but I don't do it anywhere near as often as I should do. But they also say to you about having a circle of friends. And the first one said, well, that's not really going to happen, is it? How am I going to find a circle? I've never had a circle of friends before. How am I going to suddenly magic out of my arse a new circle of friends? My current counsellor has now got to that stage of, well, you could do a group of people around you rather than being alone all the time. Again, it's still a situation of, well, actually, where am I just going to find friends like that? How we just start off going out, finding things to do, finding clubs. So that's what we're at. We start finding things to do. The other thing she's on about now, and the other thing obviously going to come up at some point, is, relationships. Are you at any stage looking to start a relationship or to find somebody to have a relationship with? No, I'm not. That's not on the card at all. It's not something I'm even considering. Something I would even consider not something I'm interested in at all. I have no interest in that whatsoever. Mainly because of here, but also because of up here, I just haven't got, what would I look for? Who would I go for? I have no interest. I've never really thought about it. I've only ever chased one person in my entire life. And it took courage to do that, but that worked out. I wasn't scared of it, and I'm not scared of new relationships and new people. It's just I don't have any interest in it. I don't want to. But if it happened, if suddenly somebody just crossed your path and all of a sudden there was somebody amazing, then you don't have a fear of it. There's no fear or anything to follow that, but it's not something I'm interested in at all. I have what's here. Now, I've said previously also in my other videos, what's here probably has already found the love of her life and is going to get married and have family and do all the things that she's always wanted to do. So that's my part of it here. This is always going to be here forever, this feeling, but the person there isn't. That's, you know, the reality of life is that that person's probably well and truly moved on by now. My wish that I had never really came true. I wished and it didn't happen, unfortunately, for me. Yes, I am at some point going to maybe, I mean, I could be single for the rest of my life. It's unlikely because very few people do. Well, some do, I don't know. But I would end up eventually meeting somebody, I suppose. I mean, I've got to think of my age as well. If I do meet somebody and that person wants to have, you know, start a family or get married and stuff like that, then I've got to think of my age. I'm 50 next year. It's something I would need to consider. But as I said, it's not something I've got any interest in at all at the moment. It's just, no, I haven't had interest in it since May last year. I'm not going to, I don't think. Not anyway soon, not until certain persons are plastered on the internet as married and stuff, I suppose, but we don't know. We'll see. So, getting out and about. I get out and about, obviously I go to work. I can get up and go to work. I have friends at work, but they're not friends as such. I don't have people to go out with anywhere else. One of the things we've got to talk about, and one of the things that with the council, is to go and find things to do. Last Sunday, I decided to go out and do something completely new. Something different. This Sunday I'm going out with my mum to a car show, an Americana show at Horsham. Earlier in the year we went to the Horsham Italia. That was great, that was good, but it was raining, it was horrible, we took cuddles, it wasn't very nice weather at all. This time we're hoping that the weather, looking at it, the sun at the moment looks quite nice, so it will probably be a nice day, hopefully. This is from the last time at Horsham, it sort of faded a little bit unfortunately, but that was Lamborghini's green Lamborghini, green hair. Today I haven't flown the Phantom for quite some time, so I'm going to take the Phantom out today, do a few shots, maybe a bit of video in that because I haven't done anything for ages with that drone. I've got more watch reviews to do, which I shall do whilst I finish videoing this. And I've just got to find stuff to get out, do. I'm feeling that, you know, you can do stuff on your own, you can have fun on your own, you can enjoy your own company, be with yourself, and it doesn't matter what else goes on around you, what else is in the world, you've got what you've got. Okay, so it's a pouring, disgusting, horrible, rainy Sunday, and I've decided to come to my first auction. This is a mixed auction. So it's supposed to be some jewellery.
After 80 yards, you have reached your destination on your left.
Watches and some electricals and stuff like that. So it's unusual. Obviously, I've not been to one before. I just want to have a look.
On your left.
Thank you. I just want to have a look, see what it's all about, see what happens. So the last time I went to an auction probably was a car auction with my dad about 20 odd years ago. So let's have a look, see what it's like. I've never been one. There appears to be some rather nice looking cars in the car park. That just means it's people with money here. It's a hotel and quite a posh hotel, so I suppose there's people here staying here, get some money. I don't suppose these people are all here for the auction, but I expect a few people should be here for it.
With free air miles, it's the Toshiba 4K ultra high definition, very large 55-inch screen, by retails at $550. Start the bidding at £200 quickly, yes or no? 200 bid. Who else? Is that it? 230, 250, 280, 300, 320. 320 bid. Are we done at 320 bid? Don't let this go at 320. It's an £800 picture. Start the yes or no at £150 bid. 150. Anyone else? Probably one of the best pictures in the room today. At 150 bid, then hammers up at 150 bid.
It's a surprisingly busy auction, and it keeps taking a mick out of my hair all the time, the auctioneer. But I've still bought something anyway, and keep an eye out for the rest. I must admit it's a very nice venue for this as well. Only coming here for the auction though, so, but it's a lovely place. Never been here before. The auction's been held at a hotel called the Great Danes, as you can see why. Not bad for a first auction, it was quite interesting. They didn't get anywhere near as much as they wanted through a lot of the bids, but I ended up with a couple of bits that are going to go in my room. It was just different and nice to visit, nice to see things going on. It's quite nice to get out really. Quite enjoyed that. I will probably have to try another one though at some point. At the auction I bought this rather large mirror. Different, unusual, bit big, a lot bigger than I thought it would be, and finding somewhere for it to go is going to be a little bit more difficult than I first imagined. Very heavy, it's something that's a lot heavier than I thought it would be. I also bought more art, so instead of a picture I bought an apple. This was a set of two. There was a green one, and the green one was a very flat green. The guy did take the mickey and say, well, why don't you want the green one as well? I said no, I like the red colour. The red's a really nice colour. It's unique, it's different. There was a lot of other types of bits of sculpture and stuff there that were a bit strange. I also bought, just for the sake of it, just because they was there, I bought a pack of throwing knives. Bit unusual, I know. Now throwing knives, there's nothing to worry about. They're not dangerous in the fact that, you know, I mean, they're very, very sharp, but they are purely for throwing. We had some when I was younger. My dad had some throwing knives. And they're just great to practice with and target practice, that sort of stuff. Okay, so one of the first things I need to do is apologise for the blurry footage earlier. It's a great camera, got great 1080p picture quality, but occasionally this focusing seems to be a bit of an issue. And I'm trying to work it out, trying to get it, hopefully it's in focus now. So I'm out here now with the drone. I haven't flown the Phantom for some time, so come somewhere where there's a lot of nice scenery, lovely grass, water. Lovely looking day. It's still sunny even though we're sort of now coming to the end of September. It's still sunny. It's been raining and stuff the previous weeks, but now it's nice again, so let's get a bit of footage with the drone.
Colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people.